Okay, so let's talk Facebook shops. Mark Zuckerberg made a huge announcement yesterday, and just like the internet blew up and social media blew up, and everybody's making videos and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to finally have Facebook shops. So, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for handmade sellers specifically? And what can we expect in the coming months as they unroll this? My name's Allie Thompson with Creative Success Secrets, and I got to admit, so a little bit of straight talk right here from the get-go. When that announcement came out yesterday, I started to read it, and it said Facebook now introducing Facebook shops where people can shop on Facebook. And my first reaction was, and? Because maybe you don't know this, but Facebook knows this, and a lot of people do know this, that there are already shops on Facebook. So you can already, as a seller, create a shop on your Facebook page. It's been around at least a year. It has not done very well. It has not been embraced by the broad general public, but Facebook shops have been around for a long time. And so when they were saying announcing Facebook shops, and I'm like, am I missing something? I mean, I literally was like, am I in an episode of The Twilight Zone? We've already had shops. And what I thought was interesting is, again, maybe not everybody knows that there were Facebook shops because it was not a very successful product for Facebook. But Facebook knows that. Facebook knows that Facebook already had shops. And so I find it very interesting that this announcement is coming out the way that it is right now, at the time we are in as a country, as the world, that they would come out and pretend like they were launching Facebook shops as if this is not something that has existed before. And so in my confusion, like, am I in the Twilight Zone? I went and I read as many articles as I could, and they basically were just repeating Facebook's, press release of, oh, it's going to be this and this, and we'll talk about some of the details, because it's not exactly the same. And although it is at the beginning, it's kind of weird. So I was reading articles. I've been going and finding other experts who are experts in e-commerce, who are experts in Facebook. And I'm like, great, I'm going to finally understand, like, what is the difference between what they are saying that they are unveiling, what they are rolling out, and what we've already had. I wanted somebody to really say, but so Facebook shops before were this, but this is new because of this. Nothing. I cannot find a single person that's supposed to be an expert in this area. I consider myself an expert, but there are definitely people that are more familiar with Facebook shops than I am, because Facebook shops was not a very successful program. It was not something I invested a lot of time and energy into. So I thought, well, there are other people out there that know Facebook shops more, and they'll understand what the difference. Nobody seems to know. It's almost like 1984, right? Like, we've always been at war with Oceania. Like, it's like Facebook saying, we never had shops before. What are you talking about? We're just unrolling shops now. And so I think the timing of this is very, very interesting. When you watch Mark Zuckerberg's video about these Facebook shops, and this is important because there's a lot of people getting really, really, really excited. Oh my gosh, for the first time, we're going to be able to buy on Facebook. And I think that excitement should be tempered a bit. There may be some really great things coming, but a lot of people are losing their heads about this, and it's not necessary. So in Mark Zuckerberg's address to the nation, right? Talking about this rollout of the Facebook shops. He starts off with this whole long thing about Main Street and how local businesses, and first of all, Mark Zuckerberg is so hard to listen to. He is so, his voice is very, very boring, but I listened to the whole thing. And so he's like, Main Street and like all these shops were closing and they're trying to get online, and we thought we needed to find a solution. So introducing Facebook shops. So I really think this is a rebranding of an old product that they've had, that they're trying to bring it back into the marketplace in a new, fresh way, while kind of riding the coattails of this. We want to support small businesses and local businesses. I will talk about how some of that's kind of bullcrap, because a lot of these features that a lot of things they're doing with these shops actually favor big business. They don't favor the little guy very much. So they have the whole tugging at the heartstrings thing, like, oh, we're going to help small businesses. So we're introducing these shops, and the shops are free. Well, shops have always been free as far as I know. They've always been there. They've always been something that you can, not always, but in the last year at least, I don't know how old they are. So I think it's very interesting that they repackaged these shops. There are going to be differences and changes. So some of the things that are the same, you're going to be able to shop on Facebook. You could already shop on Facebook. In fact, when I was talking to my husband about this, he goes, I've never seen that. And I said, yeah, because not a lot of people use it, because it's clunky, it's cumbersome, and it's not great for sellers. One of the things that, and we'll see whether or not they change this. One of the things that the current Facebook shops have is you must ship within 3 days, which is fine if you have a pre-made product. But a lot of handmade sellers are making custom pieces, or they make pieces to order. So they get the order, that's when they make the piece. And it can be really hard to stay within a 3-day deadline of, I have to have it out in this time, when you're doing custom pieces. So that's something that's been a little bit difficult for handmade sellers. Also, there are reports, and even in Facebook's own, when I was on their website, there can be some significant lag time between when you ship it and when you get paid. More significant than what I think is acceptable. So there have been problems with the program before. But I was telling my husband, I'm like, yeah, shops on Facebook have always been there. And he's like, I've never seen one. And I showed him one. He goes, oh, well, that's pretty cool. He's like, I've never seen one before. And I said, I've been on this shop a year ago. I've known this is here this whole time. So the ability to shop on Facebook has been here for a long time. That is not new. It's not revolutionary. The question is whether or not they're going to fix the problems that drove retailers away in the first place. So because I think that they really aren't looking out for the little guy here, and because I really don't think that they are trying to make it easy for small businesses, I don't know that they're going to necessarily fix those problems, but we'll see. We'll see. There's still a lot of details that we don't have yet. The other thing that they're like, and the most amazing thing is it integrates with Shopify and Big Commerce and ContraCart and all of this. And I'm like, and it's already, I started a new Shopify site almost 2 months ago now. And the ability to connect it with Facebook and have it integrated into Facebook has been there the whole time. That has been an option that has been around for a while. It's not new. This is not a new thing. So those are some of the old features that they're touting as new. I mean, the Facebook Shops is an old feature. It's just an old feature. It's driving me crazy a little bit. So I keep mentioning that it's going to kind of favor big brands, and there's a couple of reasons why I think that is so. Number one is they are not charging for the shop itself, but they are depending on you to run ads in order to send traffic to your shop. So one of the things that is a downside of Facebook. And I love Facebook. And those of you who know me and that are Posse members or whatever know that I really promote Facebook. One of the bad things about Facebook is it's hard to be discovered on Facebook. You really need to buy ads in order to get in front of the right audience. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of organic things that are a lot of work. Where on Instagram, it's easier to be found. Even on TikTok, it's easier to just be found. On Facebook, it's harder. They just make it harder. It's the nature of the beast. So your shop is there, but it's going to be hidden. It's going to be on your page. And I'm hoping that they fix some things of that, but I don't think that they will, because they're really depending on the big brands to come in and then drop big money on ads. And if you make it too easy for a shop to be found or for products to be found, then there's no reason to buy ads. So they're giving you the free space to set up your shop, but they're not going to make it easy to be found because they want you to buy the ads, and that's ultimately how they're going to make their money off of this. Another thing is they're really touting this feature where if my husband as a 59-year-old male goes to, let's say, J.C. Penney's Facebook shop, automatically they would show him clothes that he would be interested in, that they believe a 60-year-old male would be interested in. And that's a big thing here, you guys. Facebook has the data. Facebook has massive amount of data on all of us. They know what we're interested in, and they know what sex we are. They know how old we are. They know they know if we have children. They know all of this stuff. So that's why I really think this is like where they're catering to the bigger brands, because those big brands thrive on that data. A smaller seller, where that data can help, smaller sellers are much more niche down, so they're generally not being shopped by the masses, right? And this is something that I teach in Posse, is really figure out your focus and talk to one group of people, because it's easier to get your message across to that one group of people. What the big brands can do, they can do it because they have money. So they can talk to the broad population because they have money to get their message across and to do this kind of targeting. We are smaller sellers like us, handmade sellers, are just not as equipped to take advantage of something like that. Not that we can't, but it was really built for the big guys. It wasn't built for us. And so there may be some opportunities. There may be some sellers that, like, if a guy comes to the page, show the men's products on top. If a woman comes to the page, show the women's products on top. But beyond that, it's small incremental change for us, where it's going to mean millions of dollars. Even Amazon doesn't have the kind of data on us that Facebook does. So the way Facebook's going to be able to target within, but you're going to pay for that targeting, right? You're going to pay for that. So anyhow, so they have the data, and they're also really talking about the augmented reality. And the augmented reality is really, really cool. So I can do a video of me, and it can try on like 10, 20, 30 different types of sunglasses. I can try on different colors of lipstick. I can put a lamp on the table in my room and see how it's going to look. So it's kind of imitating that in-person opportunity that to try out a product that it's hard to do online. Again, this is really built for the big companies. It's not really built for us. For us smaller companies, it's going to be more difficult to match into that technology, so that, you know, we have images that are available that can jump up for that augmented reality. But the big brands, imagine you're like Macy's or you're a big makeup company. They're gonna make a killing on this because they have the staff and the technology and the money to be able to really create, you know, that exact representation of that lipstick on the screen that can then go to your lips. It's just gonna be more for them. Again, hopefully there are features there that we will be able to use and that they make it easy enough. But it's, unfortunately, and this is just my prediction. They could come out and it could totally be super, super easy to put, you know, a product through the augmented reality. But I don't know yet. I don't know. It's just giving me hints and thoughts that they're really going after the big fish with this. They want L'Oreal to be selling their makeup direct to consumer through their platform. So it's not so much about the small business that was selling L'Oreal, which I don't know what small business sells L'Oreal anymore, but it's not so much about them. It's about brands being able to go direct to consumer. And that's the direction we're going, and that's fine. Just realize Facebook doesn't make their money off of handmade sellers. They don't make their money off of the little guy. They make their money from the big guy. So we've got to view all of this through the lens of that's who they're actually trying to attract. And just the targeting alone, just that targeting alone is enough to get big brands to just come running and pouring a ton of money into Facebook. Things I do like that they're going to have on the Facebook Live. They'll have the option. So say you're doing a Facebook Live and you're promoting a specific product. It's your feature of the week. You go on, you're going to talk about it. And let's say it's a apple pie scented candle. And you're smelling it and you're talking about it and you're describing it. You can actually have a little button pop up underneath. That's a link directly to your Facebook shop that will then buy, you can buy that apple scented candle. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. It's not a game changer though, because again, you could drop a link to your website. It doesn't even have to be on Facebook, to your website in the comments of that live video, and pin it to the top. And as you're describing the apple scent, say, hey guys, don't forget the link is in the comments. Click the link in the comments. It's pinned to the top. And you have the same thing. So I think it might make it a little bit smoother. But it's not like it was impossible for people to buy before and now it's possible. It was always possible. You just needed to know how to do it. They are going to be doing a shop now on Instagram, which I think that's pretty cool. And again, I'm not against being able to shop on Facebook. I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of good things that could happen for shopping on Facebook. And I think it's cool to be able to shop on Instagram too. I think it's cool. I think being able to have, and there will actually be like a little button that says shop now on your Instagram account. So that's pretty cool. I do really like that. There are some other things. There was something else about with the Facebook Live. I was talking about the link. I don't know. There's one other thing that I kind of liked and I forgot to put it on my list here. But there are a few things that I'm like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. I think that's definitely not a negative. And I'm not thinking that the shops are a negative overall. And I want to be clear about that. I just want to step back and get clear about what they are actually offering already, what is new, and what is new that's actually going to benefit us as handmade sellers. So it does make a difference. One of the downsides is, I almost had it right there. Like there was another thing that I did kind of like about it. One of the downsides is that I think the two thoughts are linked and I can't quite get it. There are downsides the downside of selling on Facebook. One of the downsides is a lot of consumers don't trust Facebook. And that's a big, big, big downside. I was watching a video from a major news network talking about this change, and every comment was, I would never put my credit card on Facebook. Facebook is just always out for your money. People don't trust it. They're going to share my product purchases with my friends. And Facebook says they won't unless you give them permission, which means probably after you make a purchase, there will be a little pop-up. Would you like to share this with your friends? So that's a positive. That's like a good thing to be able to share that. But I'm sure there's certain things you don't want to share that you've purchased. But then Facebook is just gathering more and more data. And while, as a marketer, I understand that, as consumers, a lot of people are afraid of that. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Facebook can get over that hump of that lack of trust that people have to where they're actually willing to pull out their credit card from their wallet. A lot of people are saying this is going to change e-commerce, that Shopify's going down and Amazon's going down and eBay's going down. I don't think so. I think that's way overblown. If selling on Facebook was going to be that big of a deal, then it would have taken off the first time around. I think it will get more popular. I think it's definitely going to change the game. But I don't think Amazon is any way, shape, or form in trouble. The ability to search and find products is overall from lots of different sellers does not seem to be baked into this the way that it is in Amazon. That confused me a lot at the beginning when people were saying that, how this was going to completely eliminate Amazon. I don't see how that would be. I don't even know how I could find the products because there doesn't really seem to be like an overall catalog of all things that are in shops. So that's my take on it. I think as handmade sellers, when it does roll out to you and when it is available, the shops are already available. There's already technical difficulties. There's already things that people are like, I'm trying to get it going and it's stuck. Facebook is glitchy. as it is. So we'll see. We'll see we'll see how it goes. I am going to be trying it out for my Posse members, those of you that belong to Posse. As I learn and as they get more transparent about what is actually being put out there, I will definitely be keeping you guys up to date. There will be training added to Posse if and when it's appropriate. And yeah, we're just gonna have to watch and see. We're just gonna have to watch and see. I think there are things here that will disrupt the marketplace, but I don't think that the general idea of being able to buy on social media is disruptive, because they tried that already, and that idea by itself isn't strong enough. So we'll see whether or not they have you know, added enough new features and changed some of the problems from before to where this is going to be something viable and something that can hopefully sell better. In the long run, sales are up to you. Any bright, shiny object, any new gimmick, it is not going to automatically by itself create more sales for you. If you don't have a relationship with your customers, if you don't have a clear focus for your business, if you haven't clearly defined your niche, if you haven't built an audience, if you haven't engaged that audience, these Facebook shops, past ones or new ones, aren't going to be the magic bullet that makes the big change. And that's just the reality of it. You've got to do good marketing in your business. You have to follow a strategy, and you have to actually implement that strategy. And if you just run after every bright, shiny new object that comes around, you're never going to see real progress in your business. Which is why I'm releasing very soon, starting this Friday, I'm releasing a free course of how to sell your handmade products online. I go through step by step the strategy that you need to employ as a handmade seller to actually have success online. It is not doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. If you take the steps and you go in order, you're going to see success much faster than if you frantically go around and post and try every new thing that's out there. So check it out. I'm going to include the link above or below. You can always search for it on Facebook. It is a Facebook group. How to sell your handmade products online. Free course. It is 100% free. Just click the link, join the group, and we'll have our first video for that course is going to hit on Friday. Today's Wednesday. And I'm really excited to be able to offer this to people and help you get a clearer vision in your head to know what direction to go into, so you don't feel so overwhelmed and so behind on everything, and you get very clear about the steps that you need to take, and then that's how you're able to put together an action plan that actually works for you. So join the group, click the link either above or below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.